Let's talk about monetization. When a product is released, it's important for the people selling the product to figure out how they're going to make money off of it. In the realm of video games, there are multiple ways companies try to do this. The most common and obvious is to have users pay a flat fee when the game first comes out. Some games offer additional downloadable content after launch, or at launch if they're really greedy, so players can get more content by paying money for it. The practice of having somebody pay for the game and then pay additionally for DLC has become a common trend in a lot of video games, with modern day fighting games having this as the base model. When a fighting game releases, it will come out with a base roster and generally have a season pass to accompany it, or the season pass will come later down the line. Then once that season pass ends, another one will come right after it, and the cycle will repeat until eventually the developer moves on to another game, or they go bankrupt. But there is another model for monetization, one that has begun to take over the gaming industry, and elements of this have slowly begun seeping into fighting games. This is, of course, the live service model. Live service games are games that are consistently updated with the intent of getting players to come back every day and consistently spend money on the game. This is through things like new characters being released, cosmetics, battle passes, and whatever else the suits feel they can slap a price tag on and get money for it. There are a bunch of these games out there, but there hasn't been a massive live service traditional fighting game. Well, at least not for a few years. And developers up until recently seem to be content with the release price and season pass model. But fighting games aren't slow to adapt, they're more just behind the times. And it was only a matter of time before the live service model began seeping its way into the genre. Like, for example, with Street Fighter 6. With 3 editions of the game, a base price of £50 an ultimate season pass that doesn't even give you the skins for the base roster, $15 Ninja Turtle costumes, fucking battle passes, and a system where if you want to buy a $5 skin, you have to pay $10. Street Fighter 6 monetization is honestly a little bit fucked. Safe to say that Capcom has begun adding features from live service games into Street Fighter 6. The only problem is, a lot of these features are generally tolerated or accepted because the games that they're in are completely free. Street Fighter 6 costs around $70. It would be nice to see a game try to do a live service model without being ridiculously fucking greedy about it. Like, if a developer made a game, gave it a free version, and committed to actually doing the live service model, this could be interesting to see. Did you know that Granblue Fantasy Versus is a free version? Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising has just been released to everyone, and with the game comes a version that people can play for absolutely free. This is a pretty good move in my eyes. One of the biggest obstacles for fighting games is convincing people to actually give them a proper shot. And when a highly competitive game costs around $60, it can be pretty hard to convince newer players to check the game out, especially if you know that for the first 10, 20, maybe even 50 hours, you're gonna get your ass kicked. So offering a free version and just going, hey, you can check it out, see if you like it or not, it's alright, no commitment. It's honestly a pretty good idea. But, now that there is a free version of the game, this causes me to have some questions, and with these questions comes some unfortunate side effects. But let's go over what you can do in the free edition of the game. To begin with, the game lets you play 4 characters, Gran and 3 other characters which are rotated out every week. You are able to play the game online, in park lobbies, casual matchmaking, and ranked matchmaking as any of the available characters. You gain access to the first chapter of the story, which is a really nice move, as well as arcade mode for the characters, offline versus CPU and 2-player mode, training mode, and of course, Granblues. Now, for a completely free version of a game, that's a lot of different content that you're able to get right out of the bat. Like, you can completely grind the ranks up to the highest rank possible on any of the characters that are on rotation. Plus, with the way that the game works, each character has their own rank. So you don't need to worry when the character that you like and got to a high rank on is switched out at the end of the week. You're not going to fall down the ranks because you can't play Siegfried anymore. Having different characters at different ranks is a really nice feature in any fighting game, but it can definitely make playing the free version of the game more bearable. Or it can make make it even worse depending on who you are. Your call. And if you're a Grand player and you're not playing in tournaments, you can honestly end the video right here and now because all of this is really, really good for you. Gran is the only character that's confirmed to not rotate out of the free rotation, meaning you can always play him. There are a lot of things going on with the free version of the game, which is very nice. I don't want to make it sound like I just hate this game as well. Granblue Fantasy Versus is really fun, and allowing people to play it for free is a good thing. But there's still a couple of things that irk me and leave me scratching my head, if I'm honest. To begin with, character customization. Understandably, in the free version of the game, character customization is somewhat limited. Like, how else are they going to make money off of the game if not charging for cosmetics? But if I'm entirely honest, it's a little bit too much. So to begin with, you are completely unable to choose your lobby avatar. You don't even have Gran. You have casual clothes Gran. This makes sense, but if you end up unlocking an avatar through gameplay by completing any of the challenges linked to the avatars, you can't switch to them at all. I understand this for the main cast, but surely if I unlock something, I should be able to use it, right? Like, I unlocked this avatar by beating arcade mode on Nightmare, and I can't use it. I can't. It's just not a thing. I earned this, but I can't use it. And that feels kind of crap, if I'm entirely honest. But that's just for the lobby and Granblues. And honestly, for Granblues, I can imagine it being a bit annoying. But for the lobby, you might not end up using that. Like, you can just go into casual, and you can just go into rank mode where you don't even see your lobby avatar. So what's really the problem? Well, that's not the only thing that you're locked out of. You know the cards that show up at the start of the match before you fight someone? They're one of the only things that you can really customize about yourself that isn't your color or the skin you're using, that show your opponent what you're on about, what you like, what your favorite character is, funny tagline, that kind of stuff. The card system, I think, is pretty cool. I kind of like it. I like customization in online games. But if you're a free player, when you're making your card, you have 4 grid slots, which you can put little pictures in. These pictures can take up 1, 2, or 4 full slots, depending on what the picture is. If you're on the free trial, you have a unique emblem that no other players have, letting other people know that you're on the free trial. This kind of sucks, but whatever. The big problem is you have no way to move or remove this little sticker. It constantly takes up 1 slot of your little emblem area. So this is annoying. I don't even think you can move the emblem, but there's a problem when it comes to the amount of slots you have and the pictures that you can use. Like I said, there are some pictures that take up 4 full slots. And since you only have 4, this means you can't use any of those pictures. Do you want to know which size has the most amount of pictures in it? You're kind of just locked out of a lot of customization right out of the gate because it's really annoying, and it's another way to just sort of inconvenience you. So, yeah, all of this is fine. It's inconveniencing and a little bit annoying, but this is a free version of the game. If you want full customization, go buy the full game. Do you know what isn't fine, though? You know room matches? The system where you can make a private room that only you and your friends can join by using a specific code so that you don't overload the open lobbies? Completely inaccessible. Not you can't just make one, you can't join them at all. The feature is entirely grayed out for free players. This is another pretty annoying thing in a small vacuum, but if you scale it out a little bit, it's a massive problem. If you don't know, online tournaments generally use these rooms for stream matches. If you try to run an online tournament in the open lobby, people can come over and grief, and the servers can be a bit buggy, so generally they have a streaming room with a private code where the players can just join and they can sort everything out. If you're a free player, you just can't go on stream now, I guess. It doesn't matter if the character that you actually want is on rotation. If you're called up to the stream match, you can't join the room, which is really annoying because it puts us in one of 2 awkward situations. Stream in the park and go with all the problems, or don't put free players on stream. But being free doesn't exactly equate to your skill level. You could be the best free Grand player in the world. So TOs and players are put in a pretty shitty situation. And if push comes to shove, I can imagine that TOs are just gonna say, buy the game. And this kind of just leads me to another question that I have. Why can't I just buy the characters separately again? This game feels like it wants to be a live service, but it just isn't. Like, there's a full-on shop with its own currency where you can buy a bunch of different things. There are progression tracks for each character, which you can't get to the end of in the free version, by the way. The game has fucking dailies. There's gonna be a battle pass coming in a few months. It feels like this game wants to be a cash cow live service game, but it also wants all of the players to pay $50 fucking right up front. If you want just the game with a base roster, which is, by the way, mostly from an older game, that's $50. The deluxe edition is $75 fucking dollars. This is a full video game price tag. And they're also going to be adding skins and a battle pass for people to pay even more into it. On Steam, the Deluxe Season Pass, the only Season Pass you can buy right now, by the way, is straight up the same price as the base game. You have to buy the game twice for 6 extra characters that are coming down the line and some launch costumes. And I look at all of this, and all I can think is how the game almost got it right, but managed to absolutely fumble the bag because they want you to pay for the full fucking thing. Like, could you imagine how good the game could be if they decided to completely forego either the live service bullshit or the full game price tag and commit to either model? This could have worked as a live service game. If you really want to keep the $50 price tag, first off, fuck you, but you could have gotten that by doing a bunch of other things. Let's say that the full base game is free, and then you splinter that $50 off into different sections. Do you want to play the story? That's $10. You want all the characters? That's $30. Too much for the whole cast? You can buy just whichever character you want for $5, or you can earn them through in-game currency. Of course, we'd also make it so that you can train against every character in training mode, because this is my Utopia game. I think making players pay $5 every time they want to lab against a specific character is kind of bullshit. Completely free accounts still can't make private rooms, but they're able to join the rooms with the codes, meaning players can still play in tournaments even if they haven't bought anything. With the story and all of the characters being bought, we're only at $40 though. And I can see the executives crying because we didn't make all the money back. But guess what? There's still your battle passes coming out. And we already know you're going to do a battle pass. You already confirmed it and showed a skin. Not to mention, you can charge for the characters and the partners separately. Maybe have it so that if they buy the $30 bundle, they get partner coins. And they can use that to get partners they want. Or they can spend like $2 to get a partner or something. Or they could just buy a partner pack for like $10. If you really want to make the $50 that fucking badly, if you splinter it off, you can make it. And you can still have consumer-friendly practices by letting me just pay for fucking Siegfried. Or just commit fully to the actual price tag. I know I said the free edition was good, but it kind of leaves the question in a lot of players' mind like, oh, well, if I can play it for free and I can play characters, why am I gonna pay $50 fucking for the full thing? Like, I'd rather them commit fully to making the game a base price, and if they are adding seasons of DLC, then fucking put the costumes in that. Let me unlock the costumes. Let me win things for once in a video game. And seeing this, it's just annoying seeing the half-assed attempt at getting them to buy the full game when fighting games have already done a system like this, and it worked well. Remember Killer Instinct 2013? That game had a free weekly rotation of characters and let you pay for individual characters alongside season passes. A lot of the time in fighting games, players only end up playing one character anyway. So now instead of expecting them to pay $50 fucking to play one character in the cast that got taken out of rotation, or maybe even more if they're a DLC character, they could just give you a bit and continue to play the game. The free edition of Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising was almost a home run. Allowing players to try your game before they buy it is a great idea, and it's why I miss demos with all of my heart. But making it so that the player can play most of the game and suddenly have a massive paywall to continue playing the character that they like doesn't sit right with me. I think a live service fighting game could work. In fact, we've already seen it work in the past, and we're gonna see it work very soonish. But you need to give some leniency to the people who aren't willing to part with a full $50 to play one character, especially if you're giving them a free version. The likelihood is now, if someone plays the free edition and likes a character that's on rotation, they might not want to fork over all of that money for everything. So giving them an option to unlock the character or pay for them outright would keep them around for longer. And judging by the daily system rewards and fucking battle passes, that's what you want, right? Retention? There's gonna be so many people that are pissed at this video and telling that I'm wrong because, oh, it's a free game. When I'm trying to make this better for everyone, please. It's a win-win. Like, I'm completely off script now. This is a win-win for everyone. Like, oh, I get to pay a smaller amount of money to play the one character that I like, and maybe eventually I'll pay for the rest of the cast if I want to check them out. Are you just gonna fuck us over with cosmetics anyway? It could have been so good. I was so looking forward to it. I tried it. It sucks. It's so annoying. You're not playing ranked mode on fucking Granblues. It just sucks. It just feels like crap. Playing the start of the story is a good idea, though. I like that bit. Keep the first chapter free, because people who actually play that bit might get hooked. But the rest of it, like, let me play in private lobbies. Let me buy Siegfried, please. Or at least let me unlock him through the game. Like, come on, man. Anyway, Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising Free Edition could have been great and an interesting step for fighting games to take. But unfortunately, it left me with a feeling of disappointment. Also, fuck battle passes in full releases. If you want to take anything from this, fuck battle passes and fuck a lot of live service bullshit. I paid for this fucking game up front. Stop trying to make me pay for more content. I used to be able to unlock all of these skins and shit, and now you're making me pay even more for them. Fuck you. I hate capitalism. Trust me, the irony of I hate capitalism followed by the Patreon scroll is not lost on me. Anyway, as always, a very special thanks to 64MHz, Almost Nap Time, Antithesis06, Ben from Canada, Cervantes de Leon, Daniel Wiedericht, Fexo, Games.png, I Am Naoto, MP04, Ray W, Sergeant Cubby, Super, Forcon, Tom Tanks, Velvet Puppy, Voltaic Charge, and Zandatsu for being Tier 2 Patreon supporters.